I'll never forget that Tuesday morning 3 years ago. One minute I was reaching for my favorite coffee mug on the top shelf, and the next I was staring at my kitchen ceiling, a sharp pain radiating through my hip. That fall changed everything for me. And here's what's shocking. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans age 65 and older falls each year. But what's truly alarming? Only half of us ever tell our doctors about it. Today, I'm sharing what I've learned the hard way, the 5 critical steps you should take immediately after a fall, and the 5 dangerous mistakes you must avoid. This information quite literally saved my independence, and it might save yours too. Now, you might be wondering, who is this guy and why should I listen to him? Fair question. After my fall 3 years ago, I spent 6 weeks in recovery and rehabilitation. I've since become certified as a senior fitness instructor specializing in balance training. But more importantly, I've been exactly where many of you might find yourself, suddenly on the floor, scared, and unsure what to do next. I've consulted with emergency physicians, physical therapists, and specialists from the National Institute on Aging to ensure everything I share today is medically sound. But this isn't just medical advice. This is practical wisdom from someone who's been there. That morning in my kitchen, I thought I was fine at first. Just a little tumble, I told myself as I tried to stand up. But when that sharp pain shot through my hip, I knew something wasn't right. Like many of us who grew up in an era where we were taught to tough it out, my first instinct was to keep it to myself. I didn't want to worry my daughter or lose my independence. So I didn't call anyone, my first big mistake. For 2 days, I managed with pain relievers and sheer stubbornness. By day 3, the bruising had spread and I could barely move. When my daughter finally came for her weekly visit, she found me unable to get out of my recliner and rushed me to the hospital. The diagnosis? A fractured hip that had worsened because I'd been walking on it for days. What could have been a relatively simple recovery turned into a complicated surgery and months of rehabilitation. Before this happened, I was playing golf twice a week and taking my grandkids to the park. After, I spent 6 months just trying to regain basic mobility. But here's where the story turns around, because I learned exactly what to do and what not to do after a fall. And since implementing these strategies, I haven't had another serious incident in 3 years. That's what I want to share with you today. Let me walk you through the 5 essential steps you should take immediately after experiencing a fall. These aren't just medical recommendations. These are practical steps I've personally verified work in real-life situations. The first step is don't rush to get up. This is counterintuitive for most of us. When we fall, our first instinct is to jump right back up, partly from embarrassment, partly from that independent spirit we've cultivated our whole lives. But here's what I've learned. Take a moment. Breathe. Stay where you are for at least 30 to 60 seconds. This gives your body time to process what happened and allows you to assess whether you're truly injured. When I fell in my kitchen, I immediately tried to stand, and that quick movement likely worsened my hip fracture. Had I just taken a minute to breathe and assess, I might have realized something was seriously wrong. The second step is to perform a mental body scan. Before moving at all, conduct what physical therapists call a body scan. Starting from your head and working down to your toes, mentally check each part of your body. Can you move your fingers and toes? Is there sharp pain anywhere? Do you feel dizzy or disoriented? Are you bleeding anywhere? This simple assessment can alert you to serious injuries before you make them worse by moving. When I finally learned this technique, it helped me identify a minor wrist sprain during a much less serious fall last year, before I put weight on it and potentially caused more damage. The third step is to call for help, even if you think you're fine. This was my biggest mistake, and it's one I see many of my peers make. We don't want to bother anyone. We don't want to seem frail or dependent. But here's the truth. Calling for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Even if you think you're completely fine, call someone. It could be a family member, a neighbor, or even emergency services. If you live alone like I do, this is why wearing a medical alert device can be life-changing. I now wear mine every day. It's as much a part of my morning routine as putting on my watch. The fourth step is to document everything about the fall. This step saved me thousands of dollars in medical bills and helped my doctor provide better care. As soon as you're able, write down or record exactly when the fall happened, what you were doing when you fell, any medications you took in the 24 hours before falling, what you were wearing, especially footwear, the lighting conditions and any obstacles, any symptoms you experienced before, during, and after the fall. When I shared this detailed information with my doctor after my second, much less serious fall, she immediately identified that one of my blood pressure medications might be causing orthostatic hypotension, essentially making me dizzy when standing up too quickly. A simple medication adjustment solved the problem. The fifth step is to follow up with your doctor, even if you feel fine. Here's something most seniors don't realize. Some injuries don't show symptoms immediately. Brain injuries, internal bleeding, and even some fractures can take hours or days to become apparent. After my kitchen fall, I had no idea my hip was fractured at first. The pain seemed manageable with over-the-counter medication, but under the surface, things were getting worse. Now I have a 48-hour rule. Any fall, no matter how minor it seems, gets reported to my doctor within 2 days. Sometimes it's just a quick call to the nurse line, but that simple follow-up has caught several potential issues before they became serious problems. Now, let's talk about the 5 critical mistakes you should avoid after experiencing a fall. These are lessons I learned the hard way, and I hope sharing them helps you avoid the same painful experiences. The first mistake is ignoring symptoms that seem unrelated to the fall. After my kitchen fall, I developed a headache the next day. I dismissed it, thinking it was from the stress of the situation. It never occurred to me that I might have hit my head during the fall. Later, my doctor explained that this could have been a sign of a mild concussion. Symptoms like headaches, unusual fatigue, mood changes, or difficulty concentrating in the days following a fall should never be ignored. They could indicate a traumatic brain injury that requires immediate attention. The second mistake is taking new medications without consulting your doctor. After my fall, I started taking extra strength pain relievers around the clock. What I didn't realize was that these were masking important symptoms and interacting with my regular medications. Some pain relievers can increase bleeding risk, which is particularly dangerous after a fall. Others can cause dizziness, potentially leading to another fall. Always consult with your doctor before taking any new medication after a fall, even over-the-counter ones. The third mistake is hiding your fall from family and healthcare providers. I was embarrassed about falling. It made me feel old, vulnerable, so I didn't tell my daughter or my doctor right away. This pride nearly cost me my independence. By the time I got proper medical attention, my relatively straightforward fracture had become complicated, requiring more extensive surgery and a longer recovery. Remember, falls happen to everyone. They're not a sign of weakness or aging. They're often just accidents, or at most, a sign that something small needs adjustment in your health routine or home environment. The fourth mistake is returning to normal activities too quickly. We all want to get back to our routines. After my first week of recovery, I felt better and decided to drive to the grocery store. Big mistake. My reaction time was slower, my pain medication made me foggy, and getting in and out of the car put dangerous strain on my healing hip. I nearly fell again in the parking lot. Give yourself permission to heal fully. Follow your doctor's guidelines for activity, and when in doubt, err on the side of caution. Your future self will thank you. The fifth mistake is ignoring the cause of your fall. This might be the most important point of all. After a fall, many seniors focus entirely on recovery, but never address what caused the fall in the first place. Was it a loose rug, poor lighting, a medication side effect, balance issues that could benefit from physical therapy? After my recovery, I worked with an occupational therapist who visited my home and identified several fall hazards I'd never noticed, including the step stool I was using to reach that high cabinet. I've since reorganized my kitchen so everything I need regularly is within easy reach. Now that we've covered what to do and what not to do, let's talk about creating a practical plan that you can implement today. This 3-part approach has kept me safe and independent for the past 3 years. First, let's prevent falls before they happen. I've installed grab bars in my bathroom improved lighting throughout my home, and eliminated trip hazards like throw rugs and electrical cords. I also do simple balance exercises every morning while waiting for my coffee to brew. Just 5 minutes a day has dramatically improved my stability. Second, prepare for falls just in case. I keep my cell phone with me at all times, wear my medical alert device, and have emergency contact information posted on my refrigerator and programmed into my phone. I've also practiced how to get up safely from the floor using furniture for support. Third, I've pre planned my response. I have a checklist on my refrigerator of exactly what to do if I fall, including who to call and what information to gather. Having this plan in place removes the panic and confusion that often follows a fall. In my senior fitness classes, I've met dozens of people with fall stories similar to mine. Margaret, an 82-year-old former nurse, fell in her garden and, like me, waited too long to seek help. She now shares her experience with new class members, emphasizing how quick action saved her from more serious complications with her second fall. Then there's Robert, 75, who installed smart lighting throughout his home after a nighttime fall. Best investment I ever made, he tells everyone. Now the lights come on automatically when I get up at night. These aren't just isolated success stories. They represent a community of seniors who've learned to respect the seriousness of falls without letting fear limit their lives. As we wrap up today, I want you to remember this. Falls don't have to mean the end of your independence. They're often just a signal that something needs attention, whether it's your home environment, your fitness routine, or your medication regimen. The steps we've discussed today, taking time before getting up, performing a body scan, calling for help, documenting the fall, and following up with your doctor, these simple actions can literally save your life or preserve your independence. Equally important are the things to avoid. Don't ignore symptoms, don't self-medicate, don't hide your fall, don't rush your recovery, and don't neglect to address the cause. I'm living proof that you can recover from a serious fall and go on to live an active, independent life. 3 years after my kitchen accident, I'm back to playing golf, spending time with my grandchildren, and even helping others prevent falls through my volunteer work. Next week, I'll be sharing specific exercises that have helped me improve my balance and prevent future falls. These are simple movements you can do at home without special equipment that have been scientifically proven to reduce fall risk by up to 40%. Until then, I encourage you to take one small step today. Walk through your home and identify just one fall hazard you can eliminate. Maybe it's securing that loose corner of carpet, moving frequently used items to lower shelves, or adding a lamp to a dark hallway. Remember, we've navigated life's challenges for decades now. With the right knowledge and preparation, falls are just another challenge we can overcome together. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you next week.